Hello everyone, welcome back into the channel. Today I'm going to be flying from the beautiful airport, St. Bartholomew. St. Bart's Airport here in the Dutch-owned Caribbean section of the world here, wedged between North and South America. And we're going to be taking off from this stunning airport in the Beechcraft Baron here for a short hop to Saba, one of the shortest runways in the world. It's only going to be at the most half an hour. I do like this airport a lot. It's an amazing approach there over the hill sometimes. It's not really doable in the Baron, I found, without breaking the landing gear a few times. But then again, if you're coming from the other side, it's fine. So yeah, they did a good job of this airport. Nice scenery here. I do like just to have a look around occasionally and, you know, nip inside for a drink. Although today it seems to be a little bit closed up. As you see there, airport to St. Bartholomew. I say Bartholomew, but it's probably better to say St. Barts, a bit more understandable. So out here we got some spare chocks. We got chocks. Let's get them off the aircraft. Let's just do a pre-flight inspection, and then I'll hop in, and we'll get going. I already know from experience, anyway, that the aircraft is pretty stable and in relatively good condition. Let's just check the flight controls on the external. Slight movement there. Again, propellers looking clear, no sharp indents or break in the blades. And of course the little look from the front. Landing gears looking good as well. We expected that early. We expected the tread marks. They're all within limits. Lights we expected earlier. Inspected, of course. And then we go around this side once more. I'll be doing the aid one, so it worked a little bit backwards. And elevator just a little bit, not too much. And then rudder, you don't really check the rudder there, so let's hop in. Okay, here we are in the cockpit. Let's go ahead and get started. It's going to be a checklisted flight, well, semi-checklisted. I'm going to do it in a sort of semi-formal way, so we're not going to be reading or following one. So we're going to check the landing gear is down, the parking brake is on, all switches and electronics are off. The props are full back, but we should push them full forward for start. And we're going to go ahead and switch the battery and alternators on, and we're going to stick the prop sync on at the same time, which should never come off during the flight. Check the area is clear, the airport is in the clear. I've checked it prior to starting or engine start. You can of course turn the avionics on and input your flight plan, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. In our case we're going to check for departures, and there is in fact a departure here at Juliana is the airport. Of course we can't get recognition at St. Bart's because it's too small, so it'd be VFR navigation today, so we'll get the avionics back off. Let's hide the yoke so it's a little bit easier to see. Local time's 20 to 12 in the morning. Navigation, beacon lights. I'm going to switch the fuel pumps on. I'm going to make sure the mixture is rich on one engine first. Okay, so fully forward on the propeller, manifold pressure. I don't need panel lights. Let's stick the boost pump, wait for the fuel peak, and then you can turn it off and reduce it down to about where it'll give you 1000 RPM, and then we can clear to start the engine. So clear the prop. Electronics trim seems to be working. Okay, there we go, successful start. Just monitor the propeller speed. Bring it up to 1000, we can hear that it's ticking over there with no issues, and there's no clicking or odd noises. And we're going to do the same in the second one, so fuel. Prime the engines. Okay then, now that's started, let's get our taxi lights on. We're not going to exceed a high RPM until we get warmed up in our oils, so more than 24 Celsius. Avionics can come on, and we're pretty much good to go now. We just need to check our flaps. Do a quick control service check, so up, down, same on the other side. This is just to check there's no cross controls in the aileron cables, because of course this is all cable operated, manually operated by cables rather than electricals, although in the case of the trim it is an electric trim, so it's a little bit different. We're obviously going to be taking off towards the water today. I wouldn't recommend taking off the other way. We're going to check the QNH. So as you can see, we're going here from the St. Barts in the Caribbean. We're going over here. I think is it this one? Yes. So Saba, TNCS, and I have managed to land at this airport before, so fingers crossed we can do it now. It's a little short hop, as I say, and it won't be recognisable in the system because of its size. So let's go ahead and get the QNH, like I said. So it's in the American units, the 29904. Very high pressure today. And that's what's going to do the taxi. Okay, brake released. So we're pretty light on load today. Our weight and balance is just me and some packs and some cargo and a small amount of fuel. In this case we're probably going to need the full runway length. We did check deployment of the flaps. Let's bring them down to the approach. We're going to depart today with 1 notch of flaps. Brake is coming on. Let's just keep those at 1,000 RPM to keep warming the engines up. It's over 22 seats. We're going to need the fuel pumps, and we're probably going to need our strobes and landing lights. Let's get them on. I'm going to do a pre-engine run up. Now we're slightly above 24, I'd say. Let's bring those up to 1500. Both engines at once, so we save a little bit of time. Bring it up to 1700. I'm going to check your magnetos. So you see a minor drop there in the right engine, RPM. Okay, so magnetos are good, and then we don't really need to feather them at this point. We just push them up to 2200. Fuel pumps are already on. Let's just switch them off a sec, and then we'll switch them back on when it's full forward. So 2200. Fuel pumps back on. Check the pitos. Feather them about 300 RPM. Drop there to 1900. Do that on both engines. You might want to do it a few times if you feel the need to get it perfect, but of course even if it goes below 1900 it's not too much of a problem. Okay, now we're on the standby position for takeoff. Let's get our transponders to test. Realistically you'd have it on standby before departure, i.e. before taxi. there's a 10 degrees pitch up on the flight director, and when we depart from this airport, we're going to see some fishermen down there, and I believe there's a shark somewhere in the water. There he is. There's Jaws, and he's eating someone off the boat. Look at that. 210 special drinker. That's pretty cool. It says 320 there, so we're going to head in this direction. Let's go. We're cruising at 3,000 feet. Amazing, such a stunning area to fly through. Love the water and the details there with the boats and the shark. It's really nice, nice little place. Just don't recommend flying into it, although it can be temperamental with winds. You can see here we're getting a lot of headwinds. We're going to set our heading now to our current course. Same with the course button. I'll switch. Flaps up at this point. Landing lights can come off. Reduce those propellers now to 2500 on the climb. To maintain high manifold pressure for now, and we are going to lean the mixture because it's quite hot. Let's increase our speed there to 140. See, we're heading in that direction roughly. See you all there. Okay, we're inbound now to land, runway 12. You can see the island ahead, it's so warm. It's sunny that it's turning into a more of a hazy look. You can see around, it's reflected. This is, I would say, not quite as dangerous as low visibility, but high visibility like this can also be dangerous when you can't see because of the heat. So we're heading right to that tiny little airport, and I'm going to do it in the Barren. Just watch everybody. So let's get our landing lights on. Let's start to prepare manually. Disengage the heading and the altitude on the autopilot. For the sake of this, I'm not going to keep the flight director on. I'm just going to fly as manually. We need to be about 2,000 feet until a little bit closer. We're going to make sure everything is prepped. I've turned the fuel pumps off, but it is still over 22, so we probably want to keep them on. I'm going to bring that mixture fully forward nice and early, so we have full fuel into both engines. You see the plane is maintaining its altitude pretty well. Increase that manifold pressure ever so slightly as I compare to February aircraft engines at around 90 RPM range. I want to slow the aircraft down enough it's going to be able to stop, but also we need to descend at a very slow rate as well. So as you can see, we maintain our altitude. We need to get down to about 1,500 feet. February and then about 1900 RPM will give you a pretty good steady descent rate there. Of course, you can adjust the manifold pressures, so you can always bring it down to about 2000. Look at the visibility of the runway. I'm going to try and do this go. It's going to be a very quick and sharp descent, so let's get the props down to 1500. Let's do 1 notch of flaps and the gear. It's a little bit fast, but it should be alright. Round we go. See the issue there, guys. The approach was actually pretty steady, but then obviously as we come into land, we might end up doing what I did. If you have an excess of speed, you'll end up flaring, and rather than the plane sink into land, which is what it should do, it will continue to climb after you've flared. So that's when you know you've got too much speed going in too fast. I'm going to try that again. We're going to do it a little bit wider on the approach, probably a little bit longer on the final. Right round here to downwind leg. Keep your landing lights on, keep your fuel pumps on. Might want to turn the yaw damper off until you get down to final again. So we're not having any issues with lift today. Lift is on our side, and we've got a bit of a headwind there, about 15 knots. Reset to about 2300 again. Manifold pressure down to 2000 this time, and we go in slightly slower. Mixture's rich. Check out your window where the runway is, so obviously we're going to be needing a bit of a outbound turn first. We'll make that inbound turn to landing. We can slow down nice and quickly this time, so let's put 1 notch of flaps early. Let's reduce it down to 1900 on the RPM and see if we can do it. Maybe down to 1500. Again, that's fine, that gives more time to descend and slow down. Height wasn't an issue, it was just the speed. Flaps fall forward. They come down. Flaps nice and early. Your dampers off. see that very hard landing. Just about stopped in time as well. Full brakes, landing lights, text lights on. Yeah, that was very frightening. I thought we weren't going to make that. I think, again, the flare's just slightly too high on it. Slightly too high the flare, and then of course we slammed down. So again, just a speed issue, and getting the speed right at this airport seems nigh on impossible. Nice short hop though from St. Barts to Saba. I'm going to do that again, probably at some point in the Barren, and we'll try and do a few circuits and perhaps nail the landing. Strobes off. Town up there, little village. Welcome Saba. Beautiful sign. Dutch Caribbean, of course. And I don't know where the official parking spot is here, so let's just park around the yellow line, shall we? It's a bit wet as well, isn't it? Let's get our fuel cut off and our props fully forward still. We're going to leave, we'll turn all the lights off. We should really have the avionics off before shutdown, but I'm sure you'll be alright. It's only a simulation. Okay guys, thanks for watching.